Have you ever really stopped to think about what happens to your trash? For most of us, right, it just vanishes. But what if I told you that a simple pile of construction debris has become the flashpoint for a geopolitical crisis, the driver for a huge technological revolution, and believe it or not, the foundation for a whole new economy? Today, we are digging into how one company is turning Ontario's massive trash problem into what could be a multi-million-dollar treasure.
Okay, so let's get right into it, because to really understand the solution, you first have to get your head around the sheer scale of the problem. We're going to zoom out and look at the massive and, as it turns out, incredibly fragile system that handles all of Ontario's waste. Every single year, that is the staggering amount of garbage that Ontario quietly trucks across the border into Michigan. And let me be clear, that's not a small number. It's more than a quarter of the province's total waste. It's like this invisible river of refuse just flowing south day in and day out. So why? Why is this happening? Well, the reason is surprisingly simple, and it all comes down to the numbers you see right here. It is pure economics. At the time, Michigan's state tipping fee was an almost unbelievable 36 cents per ton. I mean, compare that to almost $5 in Ohio or $13 in Wisconsin. The math is just undeniable. It is way cheaper to haul trash hundreds of kilometers than it is to dump it closer to home. But this reliance on a cheap foreign dumping ground has created this massive vulnerability. The province's entire waste management system is essentially built on borrowed land, and that has created a ticking clock that could go off much, much sooner than anybody thinks. And here is that clock. Officially, Ontario's landfills are set to be completely full by 2037, but there's a geopolitical tripwire set for July 2026, when the big Canada-US-Mexico trade deal is up for review. Now, if the rules change and that border suddenly slams shut to our trash, the crisis accelerates. The wall isn't in 2037 anymore, it's a dangerously close 2034. So, with this massive crisis looming on the horizon, one company, 905 Wood, is proposing a radical solution. But it's not about digging more landfills or building bigger trucks. No, it's about tackling the problem with software. What they're trying to do is completely flip the script on a century-old industry. The old model is simple, right? Waste is a liability. It's a problem to get rid of. The goal is just disposal. But this new model, it sees that same pile of wood not as trash, but as a verifiable asset. The goal isn't disposal anymore. It's monetization. And this is the core concept that makes it all possible. What's so brilliant about this is what it's not. This isn't some physical building with smokestacks. No, the digital refinery is a full-stack software system designed to take raw, unpredictable, physical chaos and refine it into a pure, structured, and valuable digital product. This one metaphor is absolutely crucial to understanding the shift in thinking here. They look at a construction dumpster and see an untapped oil well. To them, the wood isn't garbage. It's an ore, a feedstock, just waiting for the right technology to unlock its hidden value. So how does this refinery actually work, right? How do you turn a muddy pile of splintered wood into a clean stream of pure data? Let's pop the hood and take a look inside the machine. The entire system starts by tackling a fundamental and, frankly, a pretty dangerous problem. To our eyes and to a standard camera, old weathered wood basically looks the same. But one piece could be harmless cedar, while the piece right next to it is pressure-treated lumber packed with arsenic. The AI has to be able to see what our eyes just can't. To solve this, they've built what is essentially a 5-layer digital assembly line. It all starts with an intake module right on the construction site. Then it moves through a logistics core, a compliance engine, a financial module, and finally a scientific validation layer. Every single step is a crucial link in the chain, turning chaos into verifiable order. And this really shows that it's not just one app, it's a full stack of enterprise-grade technology. You've got on-device AI for instant analysis in under 2 seconds flat, an AI technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG, which is kind of like having an AI lawyer that cross-references every decision with actual legal text. They also use high-tech X-ray sensors to analyze the chemical makeup of the wood, making sure nothing hazardous slips through. And the whole thing is built on a scalable cloud platform using Google's Vertex AI and AlloyDB. Okay, so all this tech is fascinating for sure, but how does it actually save money and create value in the real world? Let's get to the financials and see how this all adds up. This is the number that makes the whole system work. It's the projected levy, or tax, that businesses in Ontario will have to face for disposing of unverified mixed waste. Think of it as the stick that's designed to motivate a change in behavior.
And the business model is just elegantly simple. They call it decoupled billing. The hauling fee is the same no matter who you use. But with a traditional hauler, that $60 a ton levy gets passed right on to you, the customer. With 905 Wood, because their AI instantly verifies that the load is clean, that levy just vanishes. It goes to zero.
So the crucial point here is that the financial benefit for the customer is immediate and it's tangible. You're not waiting around for a rebate or some tax credit. The savings are right there on the invoice. It's that simple.
But it's not just about avoiding costs. This is where it gets really powerful. The system actually creates new revenue. By verifying and tracking all that clean wood, you can prove exactly how much carbon dioxide has been captured and diverted from landfills. That captured carbon becomes a tradable certificate, turning what was a costly liability into a profitable green asset.
So what this model proves is that a massive physical problem can actually be reframed as a data problem. And once you have that realization, it opens up a whole new horizon for the future of industrial waste. And the vision here is so much bigger than just analyzing photos. Imagine your phone not just as a tool, but as a proactive partner that can see, hear, and reason all on its own. That's the idea behind what they're calling the agentic edge. This is a fundamental shift, Today's phones are reactive tools. We tell them what to do, but an agentic phone, that becomes a proactive partner. So imagine this. A driver points his phone at a pile of wood. The camera thinks it looks clean, but at the exact same time, the agent hears the driver dictate a voice note, deck demolition. It knows old decks are high risk for arsenic, it detects that conflict, and it instantly flags the load, all without even needing an internet connection.
And this is where it gets truly transformative. This entire system, this digital refinery, it isn't just a solution for wood. It's a proof of concept. It's a blueprint that could be applied to every other complex waste stream you can think of. Plastics, drywall, e-waste. It could even be used to start mining our existing landfills for all the valuable resources we've already buried.
So what we've seen is how a looming crisis forced a huge technological leap, transforming a physical liability into a digital asset. We've seen how a simple dumpster can be turned into a valuable database. And that leaves us with one final provocative thought. What other treasures are we throwing away every single day just because we're still calling them trash?